I will never totally understand the lighting in my room. There's not much of it right now. I mean, there's that. But, yeah. A lamp. It's a football for some reason. I never changed it. Yeah, I think the channel's going well. I think the vlog's fine. You know, I uploaded this quite late in the day, but it's actually midnight the next day, which is fine. As long as, you know, I'll catch up. Like, I'm gonna do the next video tomorrow afternoon, or what is now this afternoon. And I'm thinking I'll do likely, probably just like an art project or a song or something each other day. And then on the off days, it'll just be this sort of stream of consciousness thing. But that's not a guarantee. I can change that up anytime I want to, because it's mine. So you know, I'll have a video up every day. That's the only thing I'm gonna try to make sure I. That's the only rule I'm really applying myself to. I thought today about the psychology of the word shy, because it's a term I all too often accepted. And I think before, I guess the difference is, like, I would come up with things to say, but from previous experiences, understanding them to be controversial, I would not verbalize them. Whereas now, I feel like I'm willing to verbalize anything, really, that comes to mind. I'm much less of a restricted person in that sense, but which has its negatives, of course. But I don't come up with a lot of things to say. They're not as notable, things I'm thinking about. They're not as necessary for the world to hear them, for anyone to hear them, really, except me. It's just a thought process about how I want to, you know, what I want to do with my life, or what I, you know, if you think about a project I want to do, I could be thinking about just that kind of personal stuff, probably political stuff. Sometimes I want to talk about that, though, but not as often. I just feel things feel less noteworthy, not any less controversial. They just feel less like I have to say them. And I thought about shy and realized that it's more of an insult, which a lot of people might think anyway. But I thought of it as partly like a descriptive insult, like it's negative, but it implies something about you that's fairly specific. And it implies, you know, it's like you don't feel comfortable talking to people, but I just don't want to. It's not worth the effort, really. Like, at least not as much effort as some people put into it. Like, it just doesn't, like, I don't have to go out of my way to make friends or talk to people at parties or do anything really social. I mean, I live in a society where it's like these social constructs, they sort of happen on their own, and that's a much more comfortable scenario than the constant pressure that some of my friends and some people I know seem to put themselves under to make friends and build up this wall of emotional security from outside people. You know, if you have a few good friends, then you're really fine. You know, I don't need the social pressure of just, you know, like, I am one of the more quiet people in a group. I tend to put effort into it if it's falling flat, and if I can't, then, or they don't want me around, I'll just walk the fuck away. I don't like being in a group of people that doesn't like me. I don't think anyone does. And that tends to be a lot of people. I don't know why I tend to have a personality. It's a little bit isolating or polarizing. It's just not, you know, it's I shouldn't I shouldn't, like, I should take risks, but I shouldn't roll the dice on everyone I meet just hoping that they're going to like me. I should reserve communication for the utmost important when it revolves around strangers or people I don't know very well. That's just a rational human behavior. So, I'm a fairly quiet person a lot of the time. And I suppose that one of the main differences between that and shy is that I'm a very approachable person. I think. I mean, I'm not defining approachable in the sense that, like, people see me and they think that I'm very overwhelmingly safe for them. I don't know that, actually. That's not something that I'm very aware of. It varies from person to person. I've known people that think I'm kind of intimidating, but I've also known people that think I'm kind of, like, scrawny and very bright and generous looking, and it varies perspective-wise whether I'm approachable in that sense. But I mean approachable in the sense that I'm not going to go up to most people I don't know and say anything. Because why would that? I don't know them. Why would I? It just seems absurd to me to do that. But some people do. And that's, that's how I've made a lot of my friends. Is that other people have done this to me, is they take interest in me, and they from with very little background information or occasionally just appearance, they would do that. But I don't do that for them, but they're fine with it. It's just one asset of our personalities that differ. But when I'm approached, I act basically like anyone could have started the conversation. Like a minute in, it doesn't really matter who. If I like where it's going, of course. If I don't like it, then I'll be responsive. But I think that I'm portraying myself in a fairly kind sort of way. Not tame, but like someone who can relate on certain issues. I've been in certain places, I've done certain things that they might also want to talk about. Which is good. That's an improvement that I made. That'll a lot of that I struggled with for quite a while, is that I'm approachable. I can talk to people. I can in middle school, I couldn't talk to just anything that was female. Now it doesn't matter. Anyone can come up and talk to me, and I'm not really ashamed to respond in any way, and I don't feel a sense of nerve, and I'm not nervous at all when people do this, and I'm not nervous in any social situation, really, that I can think of. Not the normal ones, there's some abnormal ones that I could imagine being very. I don't like parties. I don't go to a lot of parties, but like when I do, and really, I'm in the corner of the room, either wishing I was drunk or trying to become a person that was more outgoing. Just really, I don't like the atmosphere of just lots of people, most of whom I don't know. I just don't like that. College could be different, but I can tell right now that's not the type of person I am. It's just I prefer more personalized or isolated environments, I suppose. But in normal social situations, I'm actually really not all that nervous. And that was sort of an offshoot of Asperger's. Is that because I was diagnosed with Asperger's in third grade.